And now, let me invite to the stage Dr. Eliza Patouris, the Managing Director of Reset, a visionary leader with a profound commitment to sustainability and innovation. Through her work at Reset, she is at the forefront of transforming Cyprus into a hub of sustainable business practices while empowering future generations to embrace STEM as a powerful tool for environmental change. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Eliza Patouris.
Good morning. Thank you very much for the introduction. And thank you to Women in Tech who provided us with the opportunity to be here today. So we were invited to take part in this very exciting conference. And I'm here to talk about one of the many initiatives that we at our organization, Reset, are running. It's called the FemSTEM Initiative. It is a transnational project across various countries in the EU with the aim to enhance women's participation in STEM, starting from the higher education sector. So I came here to talk about this, to talk about the need for more participation. But seeing from the crowd here today and how many esteemed women professionals are here today, I may as well have to go back and sit down. So, accelerating women participation in STEM fields to respond to the needs of Industry 4.0. Before I dive deeper into the project, I just wanted to give you a brief information about who we are as an organization and why we thought it was necessary for us to embark upon the FemSTEM initiative. So, we are an organization based here in Limassol, in my hometown, with both national and international reach. Our main areas of expertise are enhancing active citizenship, civic engagement, promoting gender equality, and fostering inclusion and diversity in all that we do. We are a team of bold, innovative individuals coming from anthropological, social psychological, legal, public health, as well as cultural and creative sectors, all pursuing their own social breakthrough, all trying to combat and address societal challenges. Our manifesto is to build prosperous societies. And we understand that this may sound utopic, but we are not utopians. We know that it's half about the potential and half about the execution. So we embark upon three main pillars of work to achieve what it is that we want to achieve. It is under these three pillars of work that we also designed the FemSTEM initiative. We conduct national, European, and international research projects with the aim to promote positive social transformation. We are very keen and we believe in the power of dialogue to alter long-held beliefs and long-held stereotypes in various fields. So, for example, we will engage in dialogue conversation with high-level policymakers, but within that dialogue, we will also invite young people to attend, or ministry representatives, or professionals, so as to have a co-created dialogue and then result in a co-created recommendations report on how we can change policies in a sector. And finally, our community outreach campaigns and events. Here you're seeing a photo of our most recent initiative. It was the Access for All Festival that we organized here in Cyprus. It's the first ever festival that is disability-led. So it's a festival that is led by people with disabilities for people with disabilities. So the reason why I'm saying this is because we are very participatory in everything that we go about and do. And it is in the same framework that we also went about to design the FemSTEM initiative that I'm here to talk about today. So how did this idea start? Well, 3 years ago, as you may have seen from the photo previously, our team of mainly female-dominated employees who are all about gender equality vibes started looking a bit more deeper into the research regarding gender gaps in the EU. We know that Industry 4.0 is currently underway. It is an exciting and a buzzing time for everybody. And it is something, however, that we need to be careful of. In the same way that the EU is aiming to ensure that this progress is inclusive, it is also our mission to make sure that no one is left behind. And when I'm saying no one, I'd like to make a specific reference to women here, because women tend to be marginalized, not because they can't, but because there is an assumption that they are less capable to do so, or less able to perform in high demanding jobs. And I'll explain a bit more later as to why we found this to be the case. In our research, we came across several European studies. One of the most striking studies that we found that almost made us want to work on this even more intensively was a study that found that across various European universities, even though there is equal admission of women students in the STEM fields of study, even though they perform equally as well, women are less likely to graduate. Women STEM students are less likely to graduate. I mean, once we read that and once we understood the reasons why, that was very shocking to us. So we wanted to take action on that. And that's how we started creating the FemSTEM initiative. We wanted to make sure that this finding was actually something that was happening in the industry, that it was impacting the industry, and indeed we found that women are significantly lower represented in ICT sectors as well as in manufacturing sectors, and indeed only 1/3 of STEM graduates are women. Is that the case in Cyprus? Yes. At least 2-3 years ago, when we were looking into the statistics before we started the initiative, we found that women in Cyprus are fewer than men working in the STEM sector. So we knew the pain points, and at the same time, we knew that the EU and all the strategies of the European Union are pushing towards achieving certain missions. For example, the European Gender Equality Strategy is all about ensuring that we develop a thriving gender equal economy. The Digital Action Plan is all about ensuring digital transformation among everybody. And there's also the strategy among EU universities to make sure that women are more represented in the STEM sector. So we thought, okay, if we're going to develop an initiative, we need to really understand the barriers. What is holding women from participating less in STEM fields? And we narrowed it down based on our EU-wide research. We narrowed it down to 7 key factors. We have stereotypes and gender bias. Although there are advancements being made in the gender equality sector, there are still long-held myths that women can't perform as well, that women don't have the capacity to perform as well. And I'd like to link that also to certain decisions that women may take, such as wanting to create a family, whereby employers, if they hear that, they may feel less willing to hire women because they know that women will undertake most of the caregiving responsibilities and therefore have less time to perform well in their jobs. So it's a bit of a vicious cycle how these factors are interrelated. We have the motherhood penalty, which is indeed a phenomenon that is happening here in Cyprus and also across the EU. We have the gender care gap, which is also a phenomenon that is taking place. Women are predominantly being given higher caregiving responsibilities compared to men, and of course it is impacting their progression in careers, and especially in the STEM sector. That seems to be a more demanding kind of sector, requiring longer working hours and more high-performing type of commitment. To top that, we have the lack of media in terms of how it portrays the success of women. So there's a lot of unacknowledgement going on, leading to fewer role models for younger STEM women to look up to. Lower presence in the media, the motherhood penalty, the gender care gap, and lack of mentors. So we wanted to change all this. So we came up with the FemSTEM initiative. It is a project that we wrote and invited partners from Greece, Cyprus, Lithuania, and Spain. And the aim was to enhance the involvement of women in STEM fields within higher education and build bridges between students and STEM experts in the industry and academia. We wanted to start from the higher education level, exactly to go back to that pain point of why women are not graduating as much as men. How would we achieve this? It's a project that's still ongoing. We are in the first year of its completion, and we have 1 more year to go, with the aim to keep it going and to keep it sustainable after. But how will we achieve this? So first, we thought it was important to better enhance the capacities of university professors to be in a much better state to support young women who are studying in the STEM sectors. We also wanted to create a bridge between universities and the STEM industry sector so as to better enable mentorship and job shadowing opportunities, exactly to be able to address the lack of mentors that young women students are facing at the higher education level. We didn't want to do this just in Cyprus. We knew this was a problem in Cyprus, but we did not want to stick to just conducting this in Cyprus. Therefore, we wanted this to be a transnational partnership to advance women's participation in the STEM fields. And finally, this is a methodology that we at Reset adopt quite heavily. It's the participatory methodology. So we wanted to make sure that in all our endeavors of this project, from the early stages, throughout, and towards the end, we would be co-creating all our initiatives, all our educational resources, with all the relevant stakeholders involved. Who would we be working with? Who are we working with? We are working with higher education institutions. We're working with trainers in STEM, professors in STEM, who are interested in advancing women's participation in the sector. We're working with higher education students between the ages of 19 to 30 who are interested in pursuing and thriving in a STEM career and thus are seeking and are thirsty for some connections with good mentors. We're working with STEM industry and academic experts, and this is an open call to all of you. If you're interested to join this project and be part of it and offer your mentorship and your expertise, we were very happy to work with you. And in a more indirect way, we're aiming to raise awareness to organizations that are active in the gender equality sector, to youth influencers, to schools, to CSOs, as well as to STEM associations. So, I mentioned previously that this was a transnational initiative, so we brought in 4 high-profile universities from Lithuania, Cyprus, Greece, and Spain, as well as 3 research organizations, and we are together working through this project, carrying out the activities in parallel as we're moving along. It's very interesting when we do it this way because we also identify a lot of differences in the cultural context, but also a lot of similarities in the challenges that we're facing. So I mentioned previously the Reset participatory methodology. This is at the core of everything that we do. We won't do something unless it is participatory, as shown previously by the Festival for People with Disabilities conducted with them. We believe it's just a more effective way of creating any type of intervention, whether that's an educational intervention or a community-based intervention. So in this same framework, we adopted this methodology for the FemSTEM initiative. We invited industry experts, women STEM students, as well as higher education educators to be our co-creation group of the project. We are in a constant dialogue with them, consulting them at every stage of the project so that they can help us co-create the educational program for young STEM students, co-create the mentoring program for STEM industry experts, and co-create the training program for higher education instructors. They say images speak louder than words. Here you can see a few photos of the co-creation workshops that are currently taking place in Spain, Lithuania, Cyprus, and Greece. We conducted these workshops to get the insights of the previously mentioned participants onto what they think are the needs. So we really wanted to hear young women students in STEM, what are their needs? What do they need to be better mentored? What do they need to be able to graduate or to not drop out of the STEM sector? A few more photos here. So to kind of start wrapping this up, what are we aiming to produce as a result of this project? We started off with the co-creation workshops, a very necessary starting point in order to make sure that everything that we do will be user-informed. We're in the process of developing an online platform that will be openly accessible and free to anybody that wants to access it. And there, we're going to be hosting a Vlog Talks Mentor Zone. What does that mean? It's a zone for any STEM industry or academic expert to offer their services as a mentor and to be matched with potential young students, women students in STEM. So if there is, for example, a young woman student who is studying engineering and she wants somebody to be mentored, she'll go on the platform, use our filtering tool, and find an engineering expert and reach out to her for mentoring or for tips and advice. In the same time, we will be hosting on this platform a toolkit for higher education educators to be able to better support young women students in STEM, simply because they haven't had the opportunity to be supported in this way. So we're trying to enhance their capacities to be able to better do so. We're going to be embarking in mentoring and training of higher education educators. So we're not just going to develop the educational programs, we're actually going to train them, both the university professors as well as the young students in STEM. Then, after being mentored, we're going to be allowing them for the opportunity to engage in job shadowing placements so as to give to young women the actual opportunity of experiential-based learning. And not only, I heard previously in the panel the importance of networking. Indeed, when you graduate from university, there are very few opportunities to be networked with industry experts. It's only after you start working where you start realizing the importance of that. So why not start at the higher education sector? Why not give them that opportunity then to be networked, to work with them, and then therefore gain more courage to continue pursuing that STEM career? And all in all, we will be at the same time conducting various outreach campaigns and events. The project is meant to be concluded in 1 year, where we will be having a transnational summit in Spain. You're all invited to join, by the way. So, I'd like to conclude with 2 videos. The first is a small sample of the Vlog Talks that we have started to create. This is with young students who are actively pursuing PhDs in the STEM sector and who are very willing to give advice to younger students in undergraduate programs to continue pursuing their STEM careers. I hope this plays.
Ως γυναίκα στο STEM έχω αντιμετωπίσει κάποιες προκλήσεις.
Καθ' όλη τη διάρκεια της διαδρομής μου στον τομέα STEM, το χάσμα μεταξύ των φύλων ήταν ολοφάνερο.
Μπορεί να νιώθουμε μόνες μας λόγω της έλλειψης γυναικείας παρουσίας, αλλά και γυναικείων προτύπων στον χώρο μας.
Αυτοί οι αριθμοί δεν αντικατοπτρίζουν μόνο μια στατιστική διαφορά, αλλά συμπυκνώνουν τις κοινωνικές και πολιτισμικές προκλήσεις που αντιμετωπίζουν οι γυναίκες στο STEM.
I'd like to see more mentorship programs tailored for women in STEM, as well as initiatives that promote equal opportunities for career advancement.
Your contributions are essential for advancing science and technology.
Need more representation, equal opportunities, better education outreach, and recognition of diverse experiences. These improvements foster inclusive environments where everyone can thrive.
And one final video showing the activities that are currently also being taken place in Spain, where they were willing to send us the video and showcase it here today.
Daukan helburua da emakume zientzialariak ikustaraztea, bai akademian eta baita industria 4.0ra begira ere.
Pues que nos cuesta mucho como afrontar el querer emprender, porque ya desde pequeñitas como que nos han inculcado a tener más cuidado, a no tomar riesgos.
Vemos oportunidades siendo mujeres para entrar en el ámbito STEM, pues seguimos teniendo amenazas relacionadas con, pues a veces el trato discriminatorio asociado a distintos puestos laborales.
Gure lehenengo proiektua da iniziatiba honetan eta oso pozik eta gogotsu ekingo diogu, bai.
You can find out more about the project here. We have the website, the LinkedIn, and the Instagram account. And if you need more information about our organization and what we do, feel free to reach out to me at the networking. Thank you very much for your attention.